All right. You hear me?
Yes, I do.
Yay, that was it.
I hung up on you.
Okay, okay. So that's what it was.
Okay.
No wonder why I couldn't hear them the other day. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Don't mind the hair.
Right. Don't mind mine either. It's just up in a ponytail. It's just doing its thing. We have snow.
Oh yeah?
We have snow, and it's supposed to be spring.
I know the weather's weird. Here it's like kind of like it's never as cold like how it is here. Like even on a any given day. So I find that odd because last night or I was listening to something the other day and the man kept repeating repetitively. He was like, "It's only going to be. I know it's spring weather. We only got to deal with this for a little bit longer, but everything should be fine and we'll get spring weather." He just kept repeating that. I was like, "What you mean it's going to be like this? What is this?" Because remember when they used to report on the weather? They
Yeah.
don't report on this shit anymore. They don't tell us it's coming. Like the weather's coming. This shit just happens,
Well, they should have reported on those Oscars last night.
right? On the Oscars, on the COVID. I'm like, you should report the weather like that too. Yeah. Oh my god. I'm sorry. First of all, everybody, this is the lovely Kera Vanmeter.
Hi. Hello.
Hello, hello, hello. The lovely. Because when you said that, I just saw some shit this morning. Oh my god. All right, Kira, let everybody know you are an amazing. You're everything. You're broadcast. You're probably we call you the princess of or the queen of the broadcast, podcast, video, audiographer, editor, all of it.
I'm a jack of all trades.
Right, right. Graduate, everything. So this is what you do, what you've been doing, and
Hmm
we're happy to have you here. Why is it so dark?
Thank you.
Okay,
I'm
don't mind
happy
me.
to be here.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, before we get into because when we talk, it just can go anywhere. Right? Um, what is it that you about this industry? What is it about it that draws you in? That does it for you?
To make a difference. I want to help be that change. I want people to see how far I've came. I just want to continue to be my best self, be my higher self, so people can see that it can be done, no matter what you go through.
I like that. I like that. I like that you said so you can also make a difference, right? Because I find it too. Sorry, that in this industry here, everybody has their thing. Everybody's in it for their own reasons. But for me, it's bigger than. Of course, I want to have it build, something for me and gain. I'm not doing all this and not to monetize, do all that, but it's really for to make a difference outside of it, like in lives. And
Yeah,
so that's pretty
exactly.
huge. It's like a
Like,
platform to get your word out.
yeah, it's not about getting popular fans.
Right.
It's not about just the money. It's not about. I mean, it's not about the fame. It's not about Facebook, Instagram. It's not about nothing like that. It's
Right.
about preparing, you know, being a part of what our future is going to be like for our children, helping set that foundation so our children and our children's children have something fabulous to build off of. So they can be their best selves without having to start completely from the foundation up. Because it that takes time. I had to redo my foundation, which is myself. I had
Hmm.
to reconfigure myself. I had to go into my own mental state of evaluating all my decisions and what I've done, how far I've came. It's just like that part of growing up, I guess. But I went through and I reevaluated myself, and now I'm like I'm ready to help make a difference in what I want my children's future to build off of.
Yeah.
I don't want to make that decision for them, but I want to set something for them that they can build off of.
Yeah. Yep. I love everything you said because that's my whole reasoning. You said all the words, the foundation, and then we have to be a part of it because you know how we can just sit here like how we've been indoctrinated and we still sit here we can talk about it but still let those people do it. We were put into
Hmm
these school systems, nobody asked why, who ran this, who did this, and yet we have to be the ones, like, if we want to see change, we can't sit back and say, like, expect them to do it or be like, this is what we have to do. You have to be a part of shaping it takes everybody. You can't just look at it like you're just one person and I can't do anything. You have to, because that, if you want your child to have better than what's going on now, because it's regressing, it's supposed to progress, then you're going to have to do something. Because if not, then what do we do? What is this all for?
Exactly.
This is, nobody's looking at it like that. This is for them, because we're already where we're at. Everybody lives, they die, right? We're not.
Ashes
They're
to
not always
ashes,
going to
dust to
have us,
dust.
right? And they're not always going to have us. We don't have any room not to be doing anything at all whatsoever. Or we might as well look over to little Tommy, little whoever, and be like, sorry, that's what you get. Hope you enjoy. You know what I mean? Just tell them you give up. Because then they're going to give up, and the cycle will continue. And you just write it out and just accept whatever they do. But we can't leave them with just, this is awful. Like you said, they have to have a foundation, which is us. That's why I tell people, we always are pointing fingers, judging people for their lifestyle, all the stuff that we've been fighting over. And then here go the kids committing suicide, dealing with bullying. What the fuck?
My daughter, she's 7 years old, and she deals with bullying constantly. I just had the principal call me last week or the week before saying that they had to suspend a child because of the bullying. Because my daughter's she's heavier for 7, so she gets bullied a lot. But yeah, the principal called me. He had to suspend a kid and make an example of him after they've already had assemblies. The teacher keeps in contact with me. She takes away recess. Like,
what about the parent?
So that's another thing. Like, I don't know. It starts with you. Like, if you want the future of your children and your children's children to change, then you need to start teaching your children love.
Yeah.
To respect everyone and their individual personalities, what they like, and to not bully them for being themselves. Help them to express who they truly are, because when you get bullied, you get taught not to be yourself. And then you have to spend years of unlearning toxic traits, toxic ways, toxicity, to try and figure out who you are. And that's what I had. I don't want my child to have to go through that. I want her to continue to be who she is, no matter what anybody thinks or says.
Yeah, if they even make it there, Kara, because since COVID started and now, that's why I'm still striving to do this bullying thing. It's not as easy. People aren't so willing just to help unless it's happening to them. But these kids are committing, as young as 8 years old, committing suicide. I'm just still catching every other day. I'm just hearing it. One girl hung herself, left her dad a letter. She couldn't take the bullying no more, the bullying. And I'm just like, they're going around here talking about this war, this, that, everything that everybody needs. What about the fucking kids? How come that hasn't came up in the conversation? I know y'all know, they don't put it on the news or anything, that these kids, nobody knows that they're doing this because they don't talk about these things, that kids are having a hard time and nobody's trying to explain it to them. Why isn't that on the list of things that we need to take care of? We need a wall. We need this. We need that. Whatever this they be in there talking about,
Well, I think the media just broadcasts what they think that people want to hear. But in all reality, we need to be putting out the content of the things that people need to hear.
Yeah.
Not what they want to hear. Because everybody wants to see Chris Rock gets smacked by Will Smith, but no, I'm sorry, that's condoning violence.
Exactly, even though that shit was crazy.
That's condoning violence. Let's talk about how Will Smith should have kept his emotions under control enough to where he didn't go up stage and smack Chris Rock,
and walked.
And I think it was fake.
Me too, because he was smirking.
It was a publicity stunt. I think it was to distract people from something else that's possibly going on.
Always
could be bullying. Who knows? But they're trying to distract you from other things that are going on.
Yep. Because you see, no war. They're not talking about that right now while that's being going on. So get them over there. Now they're looking at that. Now I tell people, when we talk about it, we're not focused. You see how where the C word at, Kara? Where'd that go all of a sudden?
Right.
But they're saying there's a large number still racking up somewhere, but you just told us to take everything off and go back to the world. I don't know what the hell's going on, but our kids are suffering, and it's up to us.
Kids are suffering. Adults are suffering. People are suffering. People are confused, lost, figuring out who they are, figuring out what they want to be, figuring out where what their goals are, and I see a lot of growth in a lot of people. I see people changing, you know,
Hmm.
but we need more of that. We need
Yeah.
more people showing their growth, showing that
Yeah.
they're changing, showing how they made those changes, taking people
Hmm.
along their journey with them to help other people want to change themselves,
Yeah.
because you can't change the world if you don't change yourself. So if you want to
Exactly.
change the world, start with you.
Yep. Yep. That's what I say all the time. We are like, oh, you got to do that. I'm like, no, no, no. You got to start with self. You got to. You got to clean up shop. You have to.
Yep.
Because we do that a lot. We always want to talk about like somebody else's like stuff all the time, what they should be doing, they should be doing. Like not everybody's path or experience is the same. You know, we all have our purpose. It's just about getting there and getting to a good place where we're kind, empathetic, and like we can have differences and still be civil towards each other. Not so humans are horrible people to each other. Like it just it really every day I think about that. I'm like, fuck, I was like human beings
It's
are
like that because
always.
hurt people.
Yeah, and then when you have the antagonist, no one doing anything, and then you know that jar, the black ants, the red ants, and you know they're just then somebody and they just walk away and just let them have it, and they don't, and they just let them go at it. They construct it, they put a divisive words out there and stuff, but they never do anything to like smooth it down or anything like that. You know what? I think. What do you think about like I don't know if people are. I can't say that they're not. But when we shut the school down and everything, I was thinking about the kids, and I'm like nobody thinks to look towards the kids, and when they see all this, and explain this to them. Like, are we explaining this war? Did you explain this? Like, let them know what's going on. Did you tell them? No, this is not what leadership looks like. You know what I mean? Because that's not normal. That's not leadership. Because leadership, we're supposed to lead, and we're supposed to be better off, not worse.
Well, I look at myself as a great leader. Um, that's how I look at myself, and I look at myself that way because I listen to other people's opinions and how they feel on
Right.
different topics, different ideas. But I also wouldn't ask anyone else to do anything that I wouldn't do myself,
Right.
and I think that's what makes a great leader.
Hmm.
And also, just trying to look at everything from every different aspect, everyone's different point of view. Being able to see things from different points of views really gives you a better understanding on how to react to certain situations. So I definitely let my kids know, you know, what leadership really is about, and to always follow the beat of their own drum. Um, and you know, to not judge people on what they look like, their disability, anything. Not to judge people by that, but judge them how they treat other people.
Hmm.
Not
Yep.
even judge
Very
them, but
true.
just, you know, decide if you want to be their friend or not by how they treat other people and how they react to things. You know, just
Yeah.
use your own judgment on whether or not you want that type of energy around you. Feel
Yeah.
different people's energy out, because energy plays a big part in everything.
Yeah. That's what we like are literally. I told you energy. Like we're like I think a 60%. It said electricity or something like because people don't know that they say that like, but we know like as human beings that if you feel it like those things you
Mm-hmm.
say like when you're empathetic to others and try to understand other people and all that stuff, then you feel you learn yourself, and then you start to
Yes.
feel that those human like okay, let me tell you something. Like yesterday I told somebody I had a moment, been struggling, but I had a good day. Like you know how you can have a day because you're there and you're just like I'm just didn't do it, but I
Mm-hmm.
felt the dopamine. You know how we have those. It goes to how our brain works when we get those certain feelings that give us. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I felt it in my body. Like I felt a synergy go through, and I was like, apparently it hasn't happened in a very long time because I felt that shit. You know,
Yeah.
and I really, in my mind, felt like this really happiness, and then all of a sudden, I don't know, but that's like nobody would get that because they're so consumed with everything else, this worldly stuff, and that's all it's about. They got to get, try to get. So caught up in the economy. I got to pay my bills. I got this. I got to do that. I'm like, what
Yeah.
about just you got to be you? Stop.
And you can't even tell when you're feeling other people's emotions or other people's energy if you don't know what your energy feels like.
Right.
If you haven't just sat in your own in your own energy for
Yeah.
a period of time to be able to understand your own energy. You can't even feel what other people's energy feels like. And even if you do understand your energy, sometimes you can't tell what's yours and what's theirs. Because let me tell you, some days I'll wake up and I'll be like, just in like this depressive state, but I have no reason whatsoever to feel depressed. Like nothing. And I'm just sad. I just want to lay in bed. So that's what I do. I lay in bed.
Crazy that I'm telling you just how the human minds and how we work as people, like, but we weren't told these things for a reason so that we wouldn't be in touch with them and try to figure them out. We think this is real. If we don't see it, it's not real. People think this Matrix is what it is, and that's who they are, and they don't realize like you are separate than this. You aren't. This isn't your world. Like you're something else. You're greater than here. You
Mhm.
know. So I don't
You
know.
you create what you want your life to look like,
Hmm.
and the mind is the most powerful thing that you have, and it's free.
Yeah. And it's attacked, and
And
then that's why they attack it 24/7.
that is why they attack it 24/7,
Hmm.
24/7. And people could be sending you mental attacks and they don't even know it. They don't even know it. That's just
And I wish they would
because
have
they're
taught
not
us this shit
aware.
in school.
They're not awake. They're not
Mhm.
awake, so they don't understand it.
Sleep, walk in
And
dead.
even if they do understand it even the slightest, it's depending on if they want to get to know it or not, or if they're trying to just use it for their own advantage because they're just so greedy.
Yeah. Yep. 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 I was reading this thing the other day, this article. I did a little bit of a recording on it, but the man was saying like how people minds work. Like, say for instance, like how you're saying some people, either they just don't want to or just don't know. And he was saying the reason why people believe false stuff, even with the facts in front of them, to the point where you'd be like, "You went home," and he like broke it down, and he said that first thing is that, and then I was like, I totally believe it because some people I was looking at like, really? And he said some people will go along with the narrative and they might believe it. They'll follow through no matter how ridiculous it is. Just to, he said, human beings first thing, no matter what they say, is they want to be accepted. They want to be, because usually the person that will be themselves, stick to, their guns, or the truth, their truth, is going to be the one that's ostracized, isolated.
Hmm.
And people are going to go with it. That's how they always flock together, go with the
Hmm.
masses, because all of them want to just, nobody wants to be that one like over here, and then you get a pat on your back because like, yeah, yeah, you're with us, right?
Hmm.
Before you didn't like each other, you remember? Shit like that, because I noticed that too, and I was like, I noticed that, and he's like, that's the first thing we'll do is because some people are scared to be that one that stands out and be like. And then he said also too, he said that when you repeat something over and over again, like say like when you, if I don't want to use that because hell, heck, canceling people for using words these days. Shit. Say like you don't agree on something. If you know what just happened, our little thing that just happened the last 2 years, and there's two parties or whatever, and then the other one's like, I can't believe that's stupid. Why'd you do that for? I'm telling you, it's not a good idea, right? We keep
Hmm.
talking about the bad idea over and over again. You know how people complain about shit over and over again, just keep complaining about it. Like, okay, it
I
is
used to
what
be
it
one
is.
of those people though. So
Yeah, he says that's what it is. He said that right there will keep that other person, make it basically run them away. So you don't agree, and they're like, I'm doing it, but you want them to realize, no, think about it. The more you complain about it, the more they're most likely. And that's why it makes no sense when you say the proof is here. The fact, what is wrong with you? The fact that they keep hearing it over and over again makes them want to stick to it even more. It's weird.
Mhm.
So you go reverse psychology, and you're just like, you just suggest it a few times, or you just lead by example. Like kind of smooth your way on in there, because the more we do that, and that's why you see everybody all like, ah. So I heard people give death threats, all kind of crazy stuff, and when I read that, it just made me realize how our human mind and our emotions, no matter what we say, we are very emotional, and then you mix
Mhm.
those two, get a hot mess. You don't know who you are. Everybody got PTSD at this point.
I definitely I catch myself a lot because I have ADHD. So like there's this paper that I've had to finish and I haven't even started it because I don't have the attention span to sit there and write that paper. I don't.
That's my son.
I
My
don't.
son's just like that. He's got
Yeah.
ADHD. I be
I
trying to
I
remember and understand it, but you just told me.
Yeah, I can't. I'll probably write like a fourth of it and then I'll have to come back to it because I will lose all focus. I'll just get off into another thought because I'm constantly thinking, I'm constantly
Mhm.
overthinking about things. I'm an overthinker. So, and those are things that I'm working on, you know? I mean, it's not an overnight process. It's definitely
Right.
things that you have to rewire yourself and reteach yourself and pick up new habits to change it. And you have to be consistent with those new habits. So like I'm just trying to, instead of trying to take on all these new habits at once, I'm trying to consistently just do a few at a time. And then as I progress, add a couple more, you know. So I had to hit everything with a new perspective. I had to take time back. I've been in hermit mode. I've been in my house. I haven't really been doing anything but working at the radio station, and that's pretty much in doing like my entrepreneur things like DoorDash and stuff. That's all I've been doing lately. I haven't really been on podcasts lately. I've been trying to stay away from everything because I had to refocus. I had to reevaluate what I wanted to do. And how I wanted to do it. And then, as you're going through that process of rebuilding yourself, you also are trying to find who you really are. So you don't want to go on and like I did have my podcast going on Vision 42, but I didn't want to continue. I had to step back for a while because I didn't want to continue in the state that I was because I wasn't my old self. I wasn't my new self. And I was kind of in limbo. And I felt like I wasn't being my genuine self. And I didn't want to lead people on thinking, like, why was she acting this way in the beginning? And now well, because I was rebuilding myself. So I just took a step back to figure out what my values really are, and make sure that my foundation is
Right.
set in stone of how what my values are and how I am and who I am. And then now I'm ready to go back at it because I know who I am and I'm comfortable in my own skin and comfortable speaking my truth and just being me. I don't feel like I have to put on a facade to make anyone like me. I don't, because I don't really care if you like me or don't
Right. Okay.
because I like me now,
High
so
five.
it's
Shit.
like,
That's all that
so
matters.
yeah,
Shoot.
so it's like before it was like I didn't know who I was. I didn't even know who I was to even like myself.
Right.
So, but now I know who I am and I do like myself. I'm very proud of myself and I love who I am and I love the
Right.
person I am. I love the children that I'm raising. I'm very proud of the human beings that I'm raising because they're amazing and I've taught them to love everyone, each and every one, and not to forgive people. And even if you forgive them, you don't got to be their friend. You
Right.
just love them at a distance, let them go,
Right.
um and I'm happy with my values and who I am, and I'm confident to be able to take on and be confident enough to talk to other people about it and see what their views are, and
Yeah.
even have some fun debates about it because it's not, you have every right to feel the way that you feel, I have every right to feel the way I feel,
Exactly.
and we can all be open and adults about the situation. But
Right.
I feel like my communication skills have gotten a lot better when you talk to someone who can understand communication,
Right.
who has worked on themselves like you
Right.
have. It's a smooth process. It's like, okay, I understand you. Now here's my point of view. But
Exactly.
when you get people that always think it's a competition or
Mm-hmm.
always trying to one up you, that's when it
Yeah.
gets to be
Yeah. Or they listen just to respond, not to.
yeah,
They're not really listening to understand.
yeah, exactly. But it also comes along with, you could be having me or you could be having a conversation with someone and they could be saying a point of view that they've said a million times, and you're just like, every time you try to explain or understand, it's like they want a different answer because they want the answer that they're looking for.
Right.
Well, I can't give that to you because I can only give you the answer that I can give you. Like, stop trying to get something else out of me because it's not gonna change.
Right? Because that's they used to deal with people like that. Because people would be walking around here playing games like life is a game and stuff, and people
Hmm.
don't understand. That's why I look at it like when you can be, no matter how old you are, it's like a level of immaturity. You know what I mean? Like you're not on that level where you're not even on that. You know what I mean? Like I am who I am. Like, and a lot of people aren't used to dealing with people like that, so they think people's a game. They're like, yeah, nah, and it's like, yeah, bye. You know what I mean? It's
Hmm.
like people aren't used to dealing with people that actually like themselves, or like you said, okay in their skin. We're not perfect. We're still gonna have days, and I like myself still because I know that I'm human. To be human is to have days where I'm just like, ugh, or I might cry. Those things don't mean that you don't love yourself and that you're not happy just because somebody's down. It means that you accept them, then you're able to get through them because you know that you're okay and you're just having a day.
Yeah. And
You
you just
know,
have to remind yourself, I am only human.
right?
I am allowed to feel the way I feel right now.
Yeah, and it's healthy. I tell people like feel what you feel, go through it, like let it do your thing.
Hmm.
Because when you try to hide it and act like it's not, it's like for who you hiding from, because you are you, but it really comes down to other people, and that's why I say like with our kids, we got to teach them because people just expect them just to know these things. Like I tell people, you got to teach your child how to be a good friend to somebody. They
Hmm.
don't know this, you got to teach them those things. So then we can stop going around criticizing people, like even on TV and stuff. Like, ooh, look at her, that's just what you chose to put out in the air instead of like saying, like with Kanye, like when he was tripping out even before, I was like, instead of like talking shit, I was like, maybe somebody should talk to him. He might be going through something, like something's going on, like. But I was more than that, like people would just keep knacking at people and making them feel, like criticizing and stuff. Why don't we be more supportive or more caring? And why do we choose to carry those messages? And that's what we choose to talk about. And that's why people aren't comfortable in their own skin.
Hmm. That's
Oh, don't let
exactly
that
why.
shouldn't let that affect them. Well, I mean, the same people that say that be the first one crying and upset as soon as it happens to them. It's like so critical of one another. Like who made who the
And,
person to tell people how to feel and how to deal with it.
and I think a lot of that comes from people just looking at people as competition, looking at the potential in the other person and feeling like they're you know intimidated by it. They're
And that's a
intimidated by
problem
by the
too.
potential of other people,
Yeah, and that's
and
something
it's
within
like
them. Yeah.
I don't. I'm sorry if
Right?
you feel that way about me, but
Right?
we can all win. Like,
Right. It's just
team
kind of
up.
creepy. It's kind of creepy
Teamwork
too,
makes the
right?
dream work. Okay, like we can all
Yeah.
win if I think we all win if we help set the stable foundation for our children and their
Hmm.
children. I think we're all going to win in that way. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. If
I just
somebody
want to
can just
live
look
my
at
life.
you and be intimidated by you, you've done nothing, you said nothing, and it's like I'm kind of like, like single wifey, like kind of creepy, like,
Just want to live my life drama free. That's all.
right? I can't help
I don't
being me.
like
Sorry.
confrontation.
Goodness gracious. That should play both ways, right? Because you'll get that person say you, for instance, and then the people are mad at you or looking at you because they feel your competition, right? And
Hmm.
then say, for instance, if you were that type of person that didn't want those vibes and wanted to fit in, then you know how people like dumb themselves down or stop being them so that people won't look at them like that, and
Hmm.
then they can be acceptable because you'll find those girls or people that hang out with people that they deem to be like not as great. You see what I'm saying here? And
Hmm.
it's like, and then some people will dumb themselves down or not be them, so people will leave them alone, and then they can just fit right in. And it just comes back to the same old thing, like not people just not letting each other be each other. And it starts, like you said, in the home, growing up, and how and stop saying, "Oh, they're kids. That's normal." Next time I have to
Well, I
say that
think a
to
lot
me.
of it also comes with energies. Like, so I try to hang around people. I try to make friends. I try to be, but then once
Um,
I get the slightest bit of envious or jealousy vibe or the
out.
slightest energy imbalance off, I'm gone. Like
Never again,
I will not even I won't even respond to you because
Yeah.
I can feel your energy. I can feel that shift, and I know when something's not right. And even when
Hmm.
I know something, when I know it's not right, sometimes I'll play along and play stupid. Just saying.
Been
Sometimes
there.
I play along. I play stupid just to see how you're gonna play it out. But
Hmm.
like I know to protect my energy when I'm doing that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can feel the energy shift, and so I just learned to just worry about me, mine, and not
Hmm.
even. I don't
Yeah.
want nothing to
Protect
do
your
with.
energy. Yeah.
I don't know nothing to do with Tim, Dick, or Harry. Like,
Yeah. I
mm-mm.
feel you. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah,
I don't care. You can
like,
be family, you can be whomever. Once that, like, you know how some people
yeah,
deal with people because they're who they are to them. Good luck with that. I'm not sacrificing my sanity, my being, just because we
nope.
related,
Got to keep your peace and protect it.
right? Shoot, we wasn't born in this motherfucker together. We're not leaving together. I don't think. But I'm not. I don't care who you are. You mess up my energy. I have my child. You know that's my responsibility. So his energy should be just great. You know what I mean? If I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, so that's why all we can do is just work on ourselves, be better example for our children, and then we can carry show through action and through our kindness and through action.
Yeah, like, yeah. I mean, I go out every day, and I just treat people how I want to be treated. But I'm not gonna surround myself with people that I feel different energies from. It's just, I'll still do my daily routine, and go about my business. I just mind my business and stay out the way. It's just That's just what I do. And like, because I can help make the difference. Make a difference from where I'm at. I don't have to be out here involved into
Exactly.
everything to make a difference.
Exactly. That's me. I'm low key. It's just me, my son,
Hmm.
the youth center. If not that, I'm doing my thing with my bullying the groups and stuff, and doing the stuff that my purpose is. That's what fulfills me.
Yeah, and I think that comes from because it is scary getting out here and trying to make new friends and build new relationships. And as you're doing that, you don't know who you can trust and who you can't,
Right.
and so you have to trust your intuition. And you know, even trusting your intuition sometimes that your intuition is going to lead you down a path where you're going to learn a lesson. And it's not, it's maybe it may be a short-term relationship that you learn a lesson from. So I think that comes from like me just wanting to protect myself from any type of BS, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah, I get it.
You
We
know?
have a lot in common. That's why I'm not in my head and everything because I completely get it. I'm all about
Hmm.
my peace and sanity, and because I can't give it to you if I don't have any. That's not even the case, really. It's just that I don't accept it.
Exactly.
I don't deal with it. Like I can't. It's like, oh God, no, can't do that. You know what I mean? Like this,
Yeah.
it's going like this. Oh, it's not working. I gotta go. You gotta go.
Yeah. I mean,
Somebody's gotta go.
I
Stop.
spent so much of my life pouring into other people's cups. Like I'm not. I'm
Yeah,
not. I'm
yeah.
I'm pouring into myself so then I can go and help pour into others.
That's just it.
Mm.
Most definitely. And this right here is like how people should be comfortable with expressing themselves, and being okay with this is normal. It's called growth. Like, you don't have to be scared what people are going to think of you or that you're not normal. Like, yo, who's to say normal? If anything, they're not freaking normal because anybody that would condemn or look at somebody weird for trying to be a better person or just themselves, they have the problem. I always tell people it's not you. I said because you did nothing to them. People that hate, the, people that literally like the haters and people that just hate people, that's not on the people. That's on you. You don't love yourself, and you reflect all that hate onto to other people. You can't hate a group of people or anything like that. It is nothing to you. That is self hatred, and there's no love there because you can't be hateful and then say you love you or you love. No, you don't know what love is because if you loved yourself, a person that truly loves themselves would not do the things that people do to each other in this world. They wouldn't do it because you would cherish and you would know. That's just like with respect because if you know what it is, that's only the nature. That's only like the balance. It doesn't make sense any other way. You give it because it flows. It's so natural and so pure that it can only give back. So when you see people disrespecting everybody and being nasty, it's just because they nasty and they don't like themselves. But unfortunately, they don't have any self control to learn that that's not how you do it. You don't put it onto other people. That's the
Yeah,
problem.
I mean, especially when you know what something feels like, you definitely don't want to put anyone else through that,
Right.
because if you know what something feels like and you know what it took to overcome that, you don't want anyone else to go through the same thing you went through,
Right.
and everyone has their each individual life path, which has certain lessons that they all have to learn. And, if someone has a lesson that is similar to yours, you don't want them to have to learn the hard way if you did,
Exactly.
so you don't want to mirror what was done to you onto other people.
Yeah. Called empathy, you know?
Mhm.
You don't want to see people hurt, and it's like you don't even have to know the person. Sometimes I'll just burst out in tears if hear something or see like a something that happens probably, and I just start crying like, oh my god, it could. That's normal. That's you. You don't. Some people think you have to literally I like this one guy. He was asking this man the other day. The man was talking about something that was going on about something was going on with people obviously, and how he was concerned and he just was really hoping that everything worked out. And then the guy asked me, he's like, "Why do you care so much?" I was like, "Well," he's like, "Why do you care?" He's like, "You don't know them. You don't know." But I could tell. And he wasn't saying it to like be like mean, but he was coming off that way. But you could tell that he did not know. You know what I mean? Like he didn't
Mhm.
understand. He didn't carry those traits. So he was thinking
Right.
like so. But what it told me about him was, well, shit. He don't give a fuck about any of us up in here because he don't. You know what I
Right.
mean? Because he don't. He said if he don't know you, you have no connection. Like we're not related. We're not anything. That means that he doesn't care about people that get hurt. That means nothing to him. But I could
Mhm.
tell like he was sincerely didn't understand why this man had emotions and feelings for some people that had not he didn't even know. And I was just like, and I say that's what the world is missing a lot of because empathy, love, and kindness. Tell people I'll stick to it. Could save and change the world. Think about it. It only makes sense.
I feel like the world has forgot what love truly is, what real
Yes.
love is. The world has forgotten what real love is.
Hmm.
Um, because real love doesn't give up on their partner. Like you go through, if you've been with someone for, say, 5 years, and you guys just keep butting heads, you really don't give up on each other because you're growing with each other.
Right.
You really just need to sit down and evaluate and communicate, and in order to rebuild off of that. Like, it's just, they don't know what being there for people is without just giving up and, oh, I don't like that, I give up. you know
Exactly.
People don't want to stick around because people are hurt. They're tired of being hurt, so people have forgotten what love is because they're not receiving it.
Yeah.
And it's gotten to a point to where it's sad, because we all have to literally heal ourselves and go within, figure out, what our values are, what our real, true, proper values, to be the best human being you can possibly be, with for the good of everyone, not just yourself.
Mm.
You have to think
Right.
about other individuals. You can't just think of yourself, because
Mm.
you're not the only one here on earth. Like, you're not
Exactly. That's what I try to tell
world
people.
doesn't revolve around you.
I
It's
try to
not
tell people
just
that.
you. There's millions of people.
Mm.
And, like, what if some big tragic world event happens to where all we have are each other to survive? You know, what do you think's going to happen? You think people are going to kill each other? Because I think that's probably going to happen with the way people don't know how to
Yeah.
love
Yeah.
right
I know
now.
that for sure.
But if
It's it's
people really knew
it's
what
working that way.
love and caring is, and knew how to work together properly,
Yeah.
see, my throat chakra's messing up. Properly, people know how to work together properly. They could build something
Yep.
amazing.
Yep.
Just like
We're our own
it's
worst enemies.
it's all yeah, it's all about, like, killing your ego, like,
Or killing
getting,
each other.
like,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, you really gotta figure out what's what and make a rational, logical decision as to what,
Mm.
like, people really need to think about their actions, like, before they do them, like,
Yes.
literally, because it makes a huge difference.
But you know what else? And when you said what you said, I didn't know if you was asking me directly because when you were saying it, I was like, mm-hmm. You say think people are gonna kill each other. I know you was asking me, but mm-hmm. And that's only because but that's why I think it's so important to speak when we decide to talk to people or put our get on platforms to be mindful of what we carry and what we say and speak, bring good messages and speak a certain way to talk because eventually it's try to tap into people's to their hearts and their souls because from all the violence and the violence on TV, everything that's violent, and then we got these orchestrators out here just keep perpetuating, and then what's up with the food. Everything that we eat goes right here, and it messes up the balance. Your thinking, all that stuff, everything that goes in our brain, it messes with everything. It sets it off, or you're not even thinking normally. It brings down your energy, your lower self. You're not even up there because that food is everything that's in that shit is horrific. I eat for survival now. You know what I mean? 'Cause after I found out even more and more and more, and people aren't picking up on that. I'm like, I don't care what are you doing out here with your health. If you think those are right choices, if you don't take a look at yourself and stop putting your health responsibilities on these people, and you start taking, you know what I mean, more responsible. Oh, what's this I'm putting in my body? Read it. I know we're not perfect, but still, you know what I mean? Like, the more you educate yourself, the more aware you become, and then you'll be like, no, I'm not going to do that. And then you'll shock the hell out of yourself when you type that shit and put it in Google and find out you're not supposed to be digesting that shit. You know what I mean? And you give it to your kids, they go to school, they get all these learning disabilities, they can't act right, think right. Why the fuck do we think that? No, you think that's hereditary?
They put it in your
Maybe.
food.
Exactly. But nobody wants to believe that shit, Kara, because they want to keep eating that shit. Somebody told me, I don't want to know, because I really like it. The fuck?
Well, people are so stuck in their ways.
They are.
They're so stuck in their ways. We were taught that McDonald's Happy Meals are so good, when in all reality, it's
horrific.
crap. It's crap. It's literal crap. Like, if you eat healthy,
Kill you.
Eat healthy eat more of a plant based diet for 2 weeks. Then go get you a Big Mac meal.
You throw that shit up.
And feel and really feel
like,
your body and how you feel after you eat that Big Mac meal, to whereas
So
before, when you were eating a plant-based diet for 2 weeks, how your body felt. You're going to be ready to go lay down and take a nap. You might even get sick, literally. But it's going to make you so tired and drain you.
You feel yucky too. And then it's like, I don't know, and people just for people like to taste it. You know what I mean? It's all about, and that's how they get us. They with those flavors. I was reading this one thing, and it talked about this one man that took salt, was it salt and sweet? So I think it was some salty and sweet, and then he learned that those two together set off the dopamine are effect in our head, and then that and it gets you addicted. You want it, because it's all about our, everything that makes us, our taste buds and all that stuff, and that's why we like stuff. And so they literally go out of their way to put shit together to make things, those chemical reactions for us to get addicted and to stuff. So that's what everybody's looking at, the taste and stuff. And they're not realizing why they're addicted to it, and it's because they needed to sell it, and that's how they did it. By learning how the brain works. They worked out. They were successful.
Like I said, it takes a lot of consistency, a lot of just holding yourself in check, like checking yourself. Like, you really got to hold yourself responsible to change those habits. Like, I've caught myself backtracking. Sure have. I sure have. And that's because when I'm out and I'm running errands and I'm working and I'm, out making money, like, how many healthy options?
Right.
Do we have a healthy 4 for $4 that we can go get? Can we get some apples, yogurt,
if that's even good,
and a side salad and a bottle of water for $4? No. We can get a cheeseburger, French fries, and chicken nuggets and a drink for $4. So, but we can't get apples, yogurt, a salad, and a drink for $4. Why is that?
Because all set up. I learned that here in the United States, we're the only country that has no other countries, the stuff that are off that they wiped off, that they do not allow to be marketed or put in food. We accept all of it. I was like, wow, that should tell people something. Like no other
because
country is using these, but yet here we are using them.
we're the free country. We're
Kill
the land of the
yourself.
free. It's not land of the free when everything, all your decisions are pretty much pre-made for you.
Exactly.
They just make you feel like you're making the decision.
Exactly. You have no choice either way.
They just make you feel like you're making the decision, but they put all the commercials and everything plays out to make you make that decision.
Yeah, or they only give
It's
you
all
those set of
marketing.
options, and either way it goes, they're always going to happen. But they didn't
Yeah.
leave you. That's just like with this party shit. I'm like, well, I'm not Democrat, I'm not Republican, I'm not Independent. Any of that shit on the list. How about that? How about I'm about humanity and somebody just getting in here and doing what's right if they're gonna be in here? That's what I'm about. I'm not on no party because I don't know you, and I don't know what you do. I don't know. I'm not not none of them motherfuckers. Not one. Whatever's on the list, none of them. I'm for humanity. I'm for someone that has. This is the way I feel. I met a man. Uh, his name is Richard Roman. He's on Facebook and he's older, like 70s. I feel like he's like my Mr. Miyagi. I don't know where he came from, right? But he makes a lot of sense. And he wrote this book, and then and he always talks about the foundation with it's not ethical, logical, truth. There's no truth. I think he says intent of honesty or honesty of intent. One of them. He said, yeah, those right there. He said, then it's trash. Like when you build something, it has to be honest. It has to be true. Are you being truthful? You know, you have to be ethic. You know, have ethics, ethical. And he said has to be logical. And then like, is any of this shit logical? No, like none of it makes sense. Like make it make sense. But if you don't have any, if that and you're not being transparent and there's no trust there, doesn't make any sense. Like all these things, right? It's like if I don't see that, then you know what I mean. Why should I have to put my faith, my trust in something or a system or somebody that doesn't even gain my trust? You know, doesn't even care to get my trust. You know, I don't even give it to you, so I can't say you lose it or you drop it every time. So I never gave that shit to you. You can't have it. So I know who you are. You know, you need to earn my shit. I ain't gotta give you stuff. You gotta earn it. You haven't earned it. I'm not putting no my trust in this shit. I trust in the Lord. Nobody was a trust in God. Well, I tell you this
Amen.
much: He's been more of a consistency than any being that I can see on this planet. You know,
Right. And I
that's
think you
why
said
I
it
sit here.
correctly. You said it. Make it make sense. Just make it make sense,
Yeah,
please. Make it make
really,
sense.
they can't.
Because like coming from not having a background in media to going to school for media and TV broadcasting, just to see it from the other side, the other point of view, it's like, really? Like in some ways I'm like, okay. But in some ways I'm like, the way I see it being used is absolutely disgusting to
It
me.
is.
And I just don't understand why everything is sugar coated and making it seem like everything has to be perfect. People have to be perfect when there is no reality of perfect. No one's
Yeah.
perfect.
But the very people
And
that are saying that aren't even doing any of those things.
and then another thing, making you feel like you have to dress up and have your hair done all the time and your makeup done perfectly and wear nice clothes. You
Right.
don't. I'm wearing a hoodie.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna change who I am just because it makes you feel better or I look a certain way. Like if people are judging me by that, I don't want them.
Yep.
If they're
'Cause
not
that's
judging
that's
me by
somebody thinking that you should
who
care
I
about. Yeah.
actually am, yeah. If you're not going to
Yeah.
judge me for who I actually am and by I look, I don't want you.
Exactly. That's how that shit happens, and that person might not even directly or people that think like that even realize what they're saying to you is you're telling this person that they're not good, not to be themselves. You know, it's like feeding into that whole thing of people making other people happy and not being able to be themselves because people want. And that's when I came up with the show A Lady's Life. I was like, what's my theme? I was like, I don't want to talk about, the norm like everybody else. I don't want to do this. And I was like, I want it to be where ladies can come and talk, and you don't have to be a mom today. You don't have to be a wife. You don't have to do anything but just be you, a human being You know what I mean? Because the world is always telling us what to wear, what to do, how we should be. No, she should be in the kitchen. No, or it's the religious side, or whatever it may be, right or wrong. But it's still always somebody knowing the role more of this human being that we're like, I think I would know right here. But that's what the world does. It's always tell a woman, and I'm kind of tired of it. And let's just say somebody out there is people are they do have something, when it comes down to like, our our creator, right? But it's still the simple fact that people don't sit back and think, because people think when they're right, they don't still think like, oh, you know what, this person is a human being. You
Hmm.
still are talking about a person as if they're not there. I'm still here. So therefore, while people are telling you, well, God said you should do this, or this person you should do that, it's like, yo, like, do you realize how that comes, you know what I mean, to make a person feel like you don't need to tell me anything, but if you want to help, like we want to grow together or something like that, but just to tell somebody what we're good for all the time, and I just don't even understand that. I don't think
Yeah.
nobody's aware of that. Like,
I think everyone plays an important role in life, in how everything plays out. Everyone plays a specific role, but I think it's important for everyone to take into consideration what other people's feelings along the
yeah,
way.
yeah, do that.
Um, and just don't be one of those people who are hurt that hurt other people. Don't do it. Sit in your shit.
Right.
I don't know if I can cuss on here, but sit in your
Oh yeah,
stuff.
yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, sit in your shit, okay? I'm a F bomb.
Stewing
Sit
it,
in your
stewing it.
effing shit, okay? Sit in your effing shit. Figure your shit out and don't put it on other people.
Exactly.
Like, it's harder that way, especially when you want to talk to someone, but you just don't want to put that off onto someone. You don't want to, like that, because that's how I was. I'm one of them people that'll go off in my bedroom and just sit in my own stuff. I don't call no one. I don't tell nobody my problems. I deal with it on my own. I deal with myself. Like, and I'm my own worst critic. I'm probably I try to tell myself all the time. I try to say my affirmations every day because I'm extremely hard on myself. Because like I guess it comes from wanting to be a perfectionist, but there is no perfect. There is no perfect. You can just be you.
Yeah,
Just be you, the best that you can possibly be, and that's good enough.
yeah. And that's peace right there. When you could
Mhm.
just be. A lot of people have these ideas of what peaceful or peace is. I'm just waiting for my peace. When you can be peace within, find your peace within the storm. That's real peaceful, because peaceful has nothing to do with people, money, anybody around you. That's a place you go. I could be sitting with around a bunch of people, and no matter what, it has to do with self.
Mhm.
you know, and it's when you are okay being you, shit. And to be honest with you, the people can see that within a person, when a person is just okay being themselves, when they're just okay in their skin. Some people
Mhm.
don't like it. Some people go like this. You know what I mean?
Like,
Because
who
they're
are you? Who
right.
are you? You're not following? You're not following that person? You're not. No,
You know,
I
like,
go to
yeah,
the beat of my own drum.
she's weird.
I think weird is the new cool. Like, it really is.
I
Like,
used to
being
have a
weird is freaking
keychain.
cool.
I used to have a
Like,
keychain. Do you remember back in the day how? Do you remember like when people used to get those keychains and they always said stuff and they just hook them on and they just collect them and wear them and stuff?
mm-hmm.
The first one my mom got me, it said, "I'm not weird. I'm just gifted," or something like that. Crazy.
Oh, that's so cute. You
Yeah,
still
don't
got
want
it?
to be weird. No, I want to bring
Oh,
them back because I don't see anybody carrying those anymore. I used to always just collect them and they all had these different sayings, but that was my first one. It was yellow and purple. Because that's why I used to like was looked at still kind of now, and to me, I'm normal. I don't know what so weird is, but if it's weird, then what's wrong with you?
right.
Because I'm good, but I'm good. Like I don't know if people think that people are supposed to fit into some kind of or whatever they're used to or whatever they're around. They're like she's a little off, different, a little weird. And I might be to you. I might be goofy or have these quirks and about it, but that's fine. People are like that. I don't know. Am I supposed to be like this? Or I don't know. I'm just saying. I didn't know if that's what I was supposed to be doing. That's an example, but I don't know because I'm just Brandy. You know what I mean? So I think people expect you to act a certain way, and then it makes you wonder. Well, real, how am I supposed to be acting? Tell me more. Explain this because I thought people were just people.
Yeah, and see, that's this whole conversation basically is what I have a clothing brand, and this is basically what my clothing brand is all about. My clothing brand is called Drippin' for Diversity, and it's basically about just everyone being equal. Like we're all literally equal, and we all deserve to be treated as such. It is time for all of us to heal from the things that have happened to us over this lifetime, previous lifetimes. I don't care what it is. Whatever it is you need to heal, it's time to get past it. Because in order for the future to be bright, that's what needs to be done. We need to learn how to love the
Yes.
right way. Like
Yes.
love the right way, the real true love, like with pure intentions. Like so many people have something like some type of reason to be involved with you. Like it's sad. Like it's
Yeah.
like they have an ulterior motive.
Yeah.
And it's like that's why people can't trust people because everyone has an ulterior motive to something instead of genuinely wanting to help someone rise. Like if I come to you and I befriend you and I give you my time, it's because I genuinely wanted to.
Right.
It's because I wasn't looking for anything in return. It's because I wanted to be there. It's because I genuinely cared.
Yeah. People aren't used to that. They thought they're used to people wanting something. So it's either got to be the way. Either you want something, or people think they have to come at you a certain way and try to trick you or get over on you. And it's like, no, I did this because you thought you was getting over on me because you thought that, but I really did this because I was being nice. But they the whole time you being nice, they thinking they actually getting over on you. It's like, oh,
Yeah, they think that they're getting over on you, but really,
right.
I mean, if you're intuition and you feel energy, you know it from the get go. Like
Mm-hmm.
I know what you're doing. I'm a,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be nice and just give
Right.
it to
Teach
you
you what a
like
nice person is like. So you
mhm.
leave you some jewels here.
Now leave me alone. Now leave me
Right.
alone. You got what you wanted. Go on about your
Exactly.
business.
Make you think next time. Leave them with something. Make them think like, huh?
Hmm.
Because that's crazy that people think that when people are nice to them, then that's you're getting over. Like, why is that? It tells on you actually, but why does that have to be the case for that person? It's like, yo, I'm just a
Right.
nice person. You just don't know what a nice person is because you use everybody.
Hmm.
And then when everybody stops doing that, then everybody's a problem after that. Like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, because when you're there for people and you're always the one to be there for that person, and then you finally put up boundaries and you're like no, then they think you're being a bad guy.
Right,
But really, you're just tired of the shit. Like I'm not being the bad guy. I'm just tired of the shit.
right.
I've helped you and helped you and helped you over and over again with the same thing. If you haven't learned your lesson by now, me keep doing it for you is not going to get you any better in any better position. It's just going to keep me doing the same thing, and I can't keep doing it. I got to put that energy into something else.
Yeah, yeah. Just like a lose lose,
Hmm.
because it really what it tells them is like you're willing to sit here and keep, like you're looking out for them, but they're not even realizing like what they're doing to you, and it then be mad at you when you stop. It's like that's, whew,
It's tough love. It's tough love. It's tough love. Some people
right?
need tough love. I
Yeah.
mean, you can't always be nice to people. I mean, that's not even being mean. That's still being
Mm-mm.
nice. Just setting boundaries, healthy boundaries.
Yeah. Pretty much, you got to because at the same time too, we gotta like hold people accountable. Because you know how people sometimes say like, "Don't say nothing, no, just leave it alone." That's what I was thinking one day. I was like, or like how sometimes you'll feel like maybe if like it's like a customer service situation or something like that, and then how how some people get if you respond or like you just leave it alone or walk away when people do certain stuff. And it's like, you know what? How supposed to people supposed to learn anything if they don't ever learn that with the actions that they show, these actions that they show have consequences. If you just always just like leave it alone, okay, you can leave it alone, but then don't show them what it's like, what it will feel like, with people when you actually hold them accountable. Like say for instance, like if you gave me really some terrible, terrible customer service and stuff. And it was like, you know what, forget it. No, you know what? I'm going to carry through with this. I'm going to give the bad review because that's what it's there for, and do all this, and that. Because these are the consequences that come with it. You don't know you're doing wrong if I don't tell you. I'm going to go
Right.
ahead and push you out a little bit in a kind way if I need to, and tell you how you made me feel and all that, and then some. Because you need to know what you make people feel like and why. That's what I'm saying. Like when people say, "No, you have the bigger what you call it," and walk away. I'm not gonna hit those two different things. Like don't become violent and crazed, but you still need to hold people accountable. And yes, I'm gonna tell you what I feel and how you made me feel or carry through. So I'm not doing you any favors by not. That's like with your kids. You have to
Right.
show them what it's like, because then they'll keep doing it. And if nobody does, then you have a monster in your hands.
Right. Hmm. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nobody likes you. You wonder why.
I mean, and eventually you'll get to a point where you don't care if people like you. You like the right people will like you. Your
Yeah.
people will like you. Like
Yeah.
set your foundation. Figure
Yeah.
out your values. And the people who have that similar foundation, those similar values, will come to you, you know?
Yeah. I will say though,
They,
Kara. But go ahead.
go ahead.
I was gonna say when you said um, about like not caring if somebody doesn't like you, but then I thought about it too. But then you have that person that nobody likes them for a reason because of who
Hmm.
they are. So when nobody likes you, and it's a consensus here. It's more than one. You seem to be the underlying, problem here. Then it's like, well, I wonder why that is. You should take a look at that.
Yes,
And
evaluate yourself.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean, and a lot of people call it shadow work, but it's really just, you know, holding yourself accountable.
hmm
It's holding yourself accountable.
yeah. Like, why
Like,
is it nobody wants to be on?
how can you hold anyone else accountable and talk about anyone else if you can't hold yourself accountable?
Girl, preach.
Yeah. I mean,
That's the
it's
world we live
plain and
in.
simple.
That is the world we live in. Why do you care if he wants to that he's gay? Why do you care if she's this? Why do you care if she got the shot? Why do you care? It's none of your business.
Yeah.
Like hold yourself. Worry about you yourself. That's all we do in this, especially this country, is complain
Hmm.
about other people's stuff. Like have
Yeah.
people like say for instance, you're not gay, they're gay. Okay, then you're not. But why are you over here upset? So we got to get rid of this shit. Like,
Hmm.
but is it affecting you? Then
Right.
leave it alone. Like we're always messing with somebody else's life, and it's never our own life that where it's like, I want to do that. It's never about us when we complain and be out here doing whatever the hell we're doing. It's like about how somebody else is living. I can't. I
I
can't.
have I had a friend who was unschooling her kids, and basically what she considered unschooling is just letting her kids figure out what their true passion is and letting them get better at it, like, and work on it and do that. So she lets her kids be homeschooled. She unschools her kids.
Oh yeah, he's
Like,
homeschooled.
but they still have their values. They're still,
Mm-hmm.
faith based, and it doesn't matter what your faith is. It's all based off the same thing. Believe in what you want to believe in because it's all there for a reason. Like, but it all falls into the same up to the same higher power. Like, we all have one higher power. It's just different religion based, like different, like, Mary's real, Jesus is real. They're all real. They all existed, maybe in different time periods, but it all boils down to the same thing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's why God said to love, and He didn't complicate
Hmm.
it by we complicated it. And when you do that, you respect our values, and when you just love and do right by people, then it'll all fall in line. And however He's presented to us when it's that time, then we'll find out. But at least we able to all find out.
And I think a lot of it comes because, like, within, like, the trans world, a lot of trans people are really upset right now because people are killing trans people. People are killing trans people right now. And that
Mm,
breaks my heart.
yeah, or
Like,
committing
literally,
suicide.
to know that just for being themselves, that
Hmm.
they have to be tortured and treated in some type of way.
Yeah,
Like, that's horrible. That's horrible.
yeah,
Like, and it's bad enough that they go through all the criticism and the bullying, They could be walking down the street just minding their own business, and somebody comes up and
Yeah,
beats on them just because they're trans. Like
that's not
that's
okay.
so
Yeah,
ignorant. That's so
yeah.
ignorant.
That's why I
And
understand why people get so upset and not bent. It's like they don't
all they're
deserve.
doing,
You could
all they're
disagree, but
doing,
they don't deserve death.
yeah, all they're doing is following the beat of their own drum.
Yeah,
They're in tune with who they are, and they're happy. Most gay people, trans people are truly happy people because they've evaluated and they know who they really are. They
yeah,
know, and that scares people. That
yeah,
scares these people,
yeah,
and that's why they're acting out like they are,
yeah.
because they're scared of being their true self. So they have to go beat up on someone who's their true self. It's
Mm.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, and I didn't mean to get angry, but it makes
No,
me angry
no, you
that
should be.
people can't be themselves because of other people not
Yeah.
wanting to be, being scared to be themselves.
And, and that's what this all boils down to. We're always making somebody else feel, and it's like if you don't agree with something, like we said, that's understandable. Like people just don't. You can't make nobody, but at the same time, if you still we're still all human beings. Like nobody shouldn't want somebody or not care if someone is hurt or murdered just because you don't like them or you feel it's wrong. Like that's crazy to me. You know what I mean? It's like if you don't agree, don't agree. Like, and it should be that.
Yep.
You know, but there's still people, and then that's why I don't. This world, I just don't understand why people just they don't like it. Then it's a problem.
The saying "treat others the way you would want to be treated" is
No, they can't.
just so relevant.
Yeah,
Like,
my grandma used to
and
always say.
I don't think that they're teaching it enough in school right now.
Nope.
Like, I don't. And they should even teach it in colleges and high schools. Like, that should be a daily thing. It should be in
Hmm.
the freaking
In the White
Pledge of
House.
Allegiance, like in morning
Mm-hmm.
announcements. Like, I used to do morning announcements in school. I love doing morning announcements. It
Mm-hmm.
was actually really fun. But, like, it should be in the morning announcements.
Yeah,
You
they
know,
took a lot of stuff out of school.
positive affirmations should be in the morning announcements at school and in the Pledge of
Yeah,
Allegiance. I am powerful. I am amazing. I am a queen. I am intelligent.
yeah,
Like, I am healthy. I am wealthy. All those, like, those are very powerful affirmations. And I
yeah,
feel, and teaching your kids those affirmations is going to make that much of a difference in
yeah.
their life because they'll never forget
No.
that they are
And then
powerful.
they'll teach their other kids too. I noticed
Hmm.
they were taking all that out of the school when I was working in school, and it was that's why I found out there's no prayer. We couldn't pray in school. My students, my first grade class, were praying, and I told the principal, and I was like, "It was the cutest thing. They were praying for the butterflies over there." And then when I told her, she's like, "Oh, you watch out for that, Brandy." She was like, "Our government," and then that's a whole rabbit hole. I was like, "What?" And I started researching, and that's like when the beginning of my podcasting, and I just found out that it was taken out of schools 50 years ago, and all this stuff. And I was like, "Well, who will go home and sit somewhere and be like, let's take prayer out of school? Like, what the?" You know what I mean? And it was a really big thing. And I was like, that's something out there. Why would you take prayer? Like, what's the problem with it? But yeah, here we got these kids beating on each other in school. Did you see the girl in Las Vegas that beat the crap out of that girl? Head was bouncing off the table. A teacher stood right there. Classroom was laughing. And I was just mortified. This was like, what, last month?
What?
And her head, she just 15 times carried. They showed that video. They said, if you can't, you might not want to see this. I looked, she just had her hitting her. And the teacher, she was like, oh, 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 and they're trying to say, I said, somebody's gonna excuse that teacher. Somebody's gonna say some stupid shit. I was a teacher. I fucking know. No, I'm not playing that shit. They're talking about, oh, the teachers can't. They don't want to touch the kids just in case. Screw that shit. Because if you sit there, you better off getting that girl off of her, telling somebody to get somebody, than that some parent have to come up here to the school and their daughter's dead. You know what I mean? Because you did nothing. Because you didn't want to touch the student. Because you didn't want to get no. Man, please. Then if that's the case,
I
then you guys need to have figured something out. Because she just stood there, and that girl 15 times, and her head was bouncing, and then she walked. Then she just stopped, and the girl didn't move. So I don't know what happened after that,
just
but
got
she didn't do
distracted
shit.
because the
What?
spider. My studio's in my basement, and I haven't cleaned the cobwebs yet. And it's starting to get warmer out. I'm in Ohio, and so a little baby spider just landed on my nose, like literally, and I felt it crawling on my nose. I didn't
You
see
play,
it, but then I felt it, and I put it, and it was. I was like, oh my gosh.
you played that off good, because I would have been like, I beat the hell out of the itsy bitsy spider.
Spider.
What else?
No
Kira's nose.
spiders. But yeah,
Oh
I need to
goodness.
clean these cobwebs.
Oh man, I didn't get me started. I seen a spider yesterday. He had it red on his back. I sound like the police. I was like, I felt threatened. It was killing me.
But yeah, like, why did that teacher just sit there?
I don't know, but I was
Why did the
highly
other students
disturbed.
just sit there?
They was back there laughing. They were
Why?
laughing.
What was funny about another girl getting a
Exactly.
concussion?
Because if that was their head, why would you be laughing? If that's your mom's head, would you be laughing? What's this your brother's head? Would you still be laughing? No, you still be laughing because you think it's funny, right? I understand. I don't understand that at all whatsoever. They were laughing. And just like the little girl that killed herself and her dad didn't find her till after he read the letter, do you know that the kids found out about it and they went online and made coffins and still was making fun of her? What the fuck? And why are they still not in trouble? Because they don't do anything to these kids.
See, what they need to be teaching in school too is that karma is real. What goes around comes right back around. What you put out comes back to you. So if you're putting out negativity,
It's gonna
jealousy,
come back.
envy, deceit, like all that, that's gonna come right back to you.
Yeah, 3 times fold.
Yeah, and
Yep.
you're gonna be like, well, what did I do to deserve this?
Right.
What didn't you do?
Those be the first ones crying like, "What happened?"
Hmm.
That's just crazy. But that's these are deadly situations. That girl could have died,
Yeah.
and that teacher just stood there. That's why I took
Well,
my son out of his school because no one did nothing, and it got physical. The first one
even
and
if
then the
she
second
didn't
one.
die, she could have permanent damage that
Yeah,
could
she
affect her in
probably
the long
do.
run
That's
to
how
where
bad it
she,
was,
20 years from now, she could get an aneurysm from
and just fall out.
this
Yep.
and just yeah. So even though she didn't die right now, who's to say something doesn't come about
Yeah.
along the lines
I
that
don't know.
is
I gotta
based
check
off
and
of
see what
this?
happened.
That just
Yeah.
mm-mm.
Yeah, that's crazy to me. I was just like, yo, I was. And that's why a lot of people too aren't feel. I don't feel safe with my son in public schools because there's no safety in there. Kids don't go to school, and bullying is not bullying anymore. Once it becomes hitting and put that is assault. I tell people like, don't be buying that shit. That's assault. So we're sending our kids to school to get assaulted. That's not bullying. That's not bullying.
Well,
When you
I will
start
speak on
hitting,
this. My daughter goes to public schools, and her her school has really tried with this bullying. They've had assemblies, they've
yeah,
had one-on-ones, they've took away recess, they've done detention, they've suspended. Um, I think the
yeah.
only other thing that they can do would be to call the parents in
But you ain't called the parents in.
and have it. No, they haven't called the parents in. I think they should
Well,
do an
that's where they went
assembly.
wrong.
I think that what they should do is do an assembly to teach the parents
Yeah,
on
I have
train
a
these
whole
parents
program
on
that they can use.
how to raise your children to be a decent humans. How,
Yeah,
raise your children to be decent human beings.
yeah.
Because if I send my kid, because like I do not condone violence at all, but if these kids keep bullying my daughter, okay, I have gave my daughter permission to pick out the biggest one. I have. And my daughter's not little, and she doesn't know her own strength. She's so strong. Let me tell you, because we play fought, and that girl's hurt me. Okay, and like she's way bigger than kids in her grade, like way bigger, you know. And for why? What makes y'all think that y'all can just bully her just because she's nice? Like
Right.
as soon as she wants to, she could really hurt y'all, but she
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
want to.
People should be scared of like doing stuff because you never know what that person will turn around and do to you.
I need a drink of
Yeah.
water. But yeah, she doesn't want to. She doesn't want to. And you want to know why? Because I taught her that two wrongs do not make
Right.
a right.
Yeah. But if you haul
And
off, you won't be mad at her though. You won't be mad at
even
her.
though I told her that, if this kid comes back from suspension and he's still bullying you, if these kids are still bullying you,
And they usually do.
you have my permission to pick out the biggest one. Like you do.
Yeah.
She's like, no, mom, that's not
Yeah.
right. I was like,
She shouldn't
that's
have
my
to tolerate
girl.
that.
That's my girl. Because
Yeah.
that's how I taught her,
I get it.
But at the same time, like I got bullied, and it took for me to beat one of them up. Like
Yeah, you gotta do
honestly,
something.
all I had to do was fight one person, The rest of them left me alone after that. Not even gonna lie.
So, my son when he
And
when he
and
did
and that
that,
and it shouldn't be that way though. It
it
shouldn't be
shouldn't.
that way. Why do I have to
Yeah,
stoop to your level just for you to leave me alone?
yeah, yeah. But
That's
see, that's
that's
what for me. I don't even feel like I stooped to your level. I showed you don't ever put your motherfucking hands on me again because that's what happens and anybody can get it. I ain't stooping. I just taught you a lesson. You welcome. I don't feel like I'm stooping if somebody touches me and violates my body. I'm not stooping. I am giving you the smoke, all of it, because you don't put your hands. You know what I mean? Because I wouldn't dare put my hands on somebody. Like that's crazy to me. That's violation. I don't want people don't run up on me. Don't do any of that shit. That's crazy. But the thing is, I would never do that to anybody either. So I truly understand. But if you put your hands on me, that's, kids do have. They shouldn't have to do that though. They had. I told my son. I didn't tell him whoop that ass. But I told you don't have to let nobody put their hands on you. You know that, right? And then eventually he got fucking tired, and guess whose fault it was? And that became a pattern. It happened at the other school when these big kids were picking on him. Then he got mad and rushed them. Then he got in trouble. But they never reprimanded them. This school, the last one, the little kid that did what he did, my son, he had it out with him, came up there. You know, my son told me that some man walked past him, some teacher, and told him that he did not have the right to defend himself. That's
where.
you're the only person on this planet. I'm being dead serious that I've heard that you said a school was actually trying. I take it all the way back to Africa. I got one in another place. This guy I was talking to all over. Everybody has the same similar stories that their schools don't do anything. The school I worked at, I was working there. I was a mom and I was a teacher there. I saw them not give a fuck. That's why I took my son out and I put him in a different school. Another lady told the other parent that her son wasn't allowed to hit back unless he hit the ground. So he was supposed to stand there and take that shit. Like, wait. Then the other lady, school said, oh, the parents got the kid some, like lessons and stuff. So, and they were like, oh, we don't condone our children learning how to protect themselves. What's going on here? So you're okay? So the person that takes the person that's, actually nothing. But as soon as that person gets tired and fights back, was oh my goodness, that's what they did with my son. And I was like, this is too often. This is going on here. That's why I removed him because I said, first of all, you're not even safe here. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I can't even trust you. We send our children to these schools. You know what I mean? We are trusting you. This principal gonna ask me, what do you want us to do? I was like, I don't know. Maybe teach them how to treat each other. Like if you don't know, then I'm taking them out of here because apparently you don't need to have children up here because
Hmm.
this is a school. My kids are supposed to go to school and be safe. They
Hmm.
shouldn't be crying and not wanting to go to school and shit like that. No, that's mental. You teach them how to take abuse. Not doing
Yeah.
that. I'm not being no parts of that. So he
Yeah.
does most of his stuff at home. He'll check in and all that stuff, and that's what it is. If nobody don't like it, I don't know what to tell you. You know what I mean? Because I don't expect any parent or anybody to suffer and be tortured or whatever it be because you just want the money, the funding, because that's all they wanted was him to be in that seat.
Yeah. I give my daughter's school props. I really do. They in gym class they teach yoga. They teach
Yeah.
yoga in gym
What's their
class.
name so I can give them a shout out? I'm for real because I'm
Right.
dead serious. What's the school
It,
name?
it, it
I
is
literally.
Akron Public School Systems, and it's Mickey Bright Elementary, and yeah, they're awesome. They're awesome. Like I do, and I
I'm
love
gonna
my
give them a
daughter's
shout out.
teacher too. Yeah, like they're
Actual public school system. Yeah,
yeah,
definitely because that's you're
yeah.
supposed to do something, try something. These schools aren't
I
doing
don't
nothing.
I don't know if it's all Akron Public Schools, but I know my daughter's school. They are trying. I think that school it has some amazing teachers, amazing staff members, just people who genuinely do care about the
Hmm.
future, like
Yeah,
who
and
really care about our future.
that's who should be working at schools. The people that actually really want to be there and they care.
Yeah, because I mean, if you don't like your job, don't work it. Literally, don't work a
Really.
job that you don't like because it shows, and you push that off onto other people.
Yeah.
Like if say you work at McDonald's and you don't like, you're going to show that. That's going to show when you're waiting on customers. You don't want to put that type of energy out there. Like you want to
Exactly.
work something that you enjoy doing. So figure out what you love and go after that because nothing is unattainable. You can
Yeah.
be and do anything you possibly want to do.
Yeah. If you don't want to work at McDonald's, people tell you, well, you need to, then don't work there. Go find someone else. Don't listen to them. If you know that shit ain't for
Yeah.
you,
Like
then
don't work
go
a
find
job
something
that you don't
else.
like. Do
Right.
not stay in a job that you're unhappy with because it shows.
makes everybody else unhappy.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, very true. Very true. I do not do it,
Yeah,
but
like
it's miserable. You don't want to do
mhm.
nothing. You get up early, like, oh, I gotta go here, and
Gotta go
then
to work.
right,
They should be like, oh, I get to go to work today. I get to
exactly.
make money doing something I
Good, but
love.
that's not normal, I guess. Like you like your job, you're supposed to be miserable and hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I need some
I
water.
know. Yeah, you want to get now, or you want to wrap it up, or you want to do?
Oh
This
no,
looks
I'm all
good.
right. I can be all right for a little bit.
You
I'll
sure?
be all
Oh,
right.
oh,
Yeah.
you got to go up, huh? Because you're in the
No, I
basement.
actually I have one right here. I'm gonna hop off
Yeah,
and
grab
grab
it.
it.
Go ahead. Well, everybody that's still listening, I hope that you guys enjoy. A lot of times I forget I'll be on camera and I just be like at home talking to people. Forget
Yeah,
my hair.
I actually look at mine now. I
Damn
actually had a bottle of water in my bag that my laptop was in,
it, you
and I
just
had
made
to
me
go grab it.
thirsty. See how that works? I didn't get thirsty till I saw it.
And it's cold because it was in my car. And here in Ohio,
Uh,
we got snow, but it's supposed to be spring, and on Wednesday it's going to be 70 degrees.
don't get me. That's weird. Don't get me started. I told you. Remember how they used to report the weather? Hmm.
Mm,
Hmm.
mm.
Like it's oddly cold today. What's that weather? I've never felt that before. It's different. Yes, become more in tune with stuff that I can feel when something ain't right and it's not natural or some extra shit going on here.
Hmm.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
some shit just ain't natural.
Hmm.
Not buying it. The jig is
Right.
up. Okay.
Right. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm super proud of my daughter's school and how they've handled things. I think my next suggestion, though, because my daughter gives me a hard time to get up and go to school because of it.
Mm.
um, and I think my next suggestion is to bring all of us parents in. Either that or I'm going to register as a student. I mean, I'm only 5 foot. I'm going to register and act like I'm a second grader.
You crazy.
Like, I'm going to put
Oh
pigtails in. I'm
shoot.
going to get me a backpack and I'm going to be like, my name's Stacy. I'm the new second grader. And I'm just going to sit back and evaluate on what goes on. Like, and
You
then we're going to
crazy.
have peer mediation. I'm an undercover peer mediator, not a real student.
What show was that somebody did that on with a
I don't know. I
student?
seen a TikTok where somebody was doing it.
It was
Somebody is like,
something.
when my daughter
Oh,
gets
Drew
like it
Barrymore.
gets bullied at school.
That was that Drew Barrymore movie. Remember, she was like a reporter, but she went and she was part of like it was a high school, and her brother went there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, okay. But look, this is what I wanted to take here because I don't know if you knew. I thought we talked about it, right?
Hmm.
But first of all, I think the parents should have been the first one to be called because they're the parents, right? That only makes sense because they live with them. They know who them kids is. They know if you the aggressor or whatever. And if they don't know, they need to know.
Hmm.
That's the foundation. Like when I was working at school, that's the first thing you call the parent. They didn't want to call the parents because they knew that they go home or they had to do something. They wanted the money. That's all they want out here. I don't know about everybody everywhere else, but to me, this program I've been working on, seeing what my son went through, and then I kind of went through as a teacher, and I kind of got some of the heat too by kids, and it was a whole orchestrated. It was I had a breakdown. I almost quit. I had to go to the hospital, and she kept calling me, "Are you coming back?" But I went back for the kids. I said, "You know what? I'm gonna go back." I don't know, you know what I mean. I just didn't want to leave them like that because I don't know how many people then walked out of their lives or never seen them again. And I said, "I'm not doing that to my kids." But I think that we focus a lot on just the people being bullied. So I came up with Bully and Bully No More, which focuses in on the bully and the bullied because you just deal with the child being bullied and then yet you still have a whole other child still. They might be getting bullied. I learned that sometimes they were getting bullied at home themselves. I learned a lot of different things. A lot of times there was shit going on at home and they came and they whatever it may have been, but it's still more to be done than just having something be or focusing on how do we stop it or focusing on just the child being bullied, like how do we get these kids to be able to live in a world together, let alone school, to where they can that part we're talking about understanding one another, where the one being bullied can understand the bully, like how we like, oh, I get it, that's why they, you know what I mean, there's something going on with them or they've been bullied at home, not saying it's right, but you understand them, and then the bully needs to see what they've done to people, you know what I mean, because what if you didn't mean for somebody to kill themselves, but you didn't think that way because nobody taught you, you just thought you was being mean, and then you find out later that what the things that you did had a lot to do with someone taking their life. You know what I mean? That could affect you too, also, and it could just be so many different roads that something like that can go down. But the main purpose of it really is to teach them how to even just build together, learn that they have differences or whatever, and then like so the program basically just does a lot of things where they just work together and puts them in situations where, not forcefully, but in a very natural environment. But it has to be consistent. We have a lot of bullying programs, right out here. They're just there. But look at, is it working? And not saying that it shouldn't be there, but I think a lot of them are more like a come to me type of thing, like come find us. Me, I think it's more boots to the ground, and you go where that shit's at. Like when I was working at the school, I knew where to go. Everywhere I circled, just walk around. Nobody knows, listening, see what's going on, peeping everything out. You go to where it's at, anywhere where there's freaking children at. You go, you put yourself out there. That's why I like to say boots to the ground, and you have your group or whoever is a part of it. But it's a consistent program. It's an ongoing cycle. It doesn't stop. You know what I mean? That just keeps going because you know it's happening. And then you give those kids a safe place. You teach them, but you also give them a safe place too when they need somebody. Because suicide can't be a choice. That has to remove. We have to remove that off the table so they can deal with it first. Not that can't be an option. We have to put something there so they can get bypass. Because that it stops it. They don't realize you can't come back from that. That's terrible. That you're hanging yourself at 8 years old, 10 years old. We have to.
These,
That's where we've got to start because this is happening a lot.
they need people to listen. They need people to hear them out, to believe them.
Yeah, help them when they
Um,
ask.
yeah, they need a safe place to be them, to voice their opinion, voice their what they're going through, and
Mhm.
for it to be validated, and not only validated, but help them to work through it
Yeah,
and to heal from it, and
yeah,
to come up with a solution.
yeah. And then the
Because
bully too. The bully has to have some. You got to go in on the same way with them, like what be there for them, right? And so it's kind of like kids are gonna make fun, like they're when they don't, because adults do it too when they're not used to something, and then something's like for instance, we had some students that came to our school that were I guess Muslim or from Afghanistan. They had they're wearing their I don't know the proper words for it, like when they're Muslim and I think they were Somalian, but I don't know what their religion was, but uh but I already knew, right? And so I saw one of the kids. He said it wasn't funny, but he said something to her. He thought but his was more genuine. He was like, "Ain't you hot?" He was like tripping out. He's like, "What are they wearing?" And I said, "Huh." And I pulled him to the side. I was like, but he after I told him, he was like, "Oh, okay," because I told him, right? And you got to think that way too because they're kids and you don't know what they see at home. I seen a grown ass woman making fun of people and shit, and then I understood why her kids came to school and did it because she was doing it too and laughing with them.
hmm yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, even if these teachers or principals or whatever, even if they talk to the parents, if the parents, if their values are different,
yeah, it don't
then
work.
it's not going to work, because
No.
hurt people,
Or they just don't
hurt
know
people
better.
hurt people.
Look,
Yeah.
some people just don't know better. They that damn ignorant. I done met them. They
hmm
just don't. They just ignorant. All right. I'll
Well,
just.
a lot of people haven't been taught right from wrong,
Mm-mm.
haven't been taught just the basics of how to
I
be a
got.
decent human being.
I got family
And
members.
yeah,
Shoot.
like nobody who people think that it's just a natural thing. No, it's not. You learn your
I do.
habits and the way you act from your environment.
Yeah. Just like
So
hate.
if
Hate is
you
taught.
change, if these parents change who they are and change the way they react to things, change their values, change how they respond to situations and come up with solutions to problems, then their kids will see that and they'll start to make those changes. I
Yeah.
mean, it all starts with you. It all boils
Yeah.
back down to you.
Yeah. You got to know you got a problem. I
hmm
seen a whole little boy. He was walking like a pimp. He didn't know he was walking like this, Kara. He thought that that's what he was supposed to do. His name was DeAndre. He was kindergarten. He was so cute, but he be like, but then he started talking. And then you just I think it tatted. But then he'd be walking, had a little earring, and then he got the limp with the swag and stuff. He'd be doing all this. But the other teacher told me, she's like, yeah, I know his mom. Said the whole family's like that. That's his norm. That's how they are. He didn't know no better. He grew up like that. That's his mentality
Right.
because that's their whole environment. And I was just like, man, how you fix that one? Because that's just
Hmm.
how they. I don't know. Like who's gonna step in on that one and tell them that shit?
Right.
That's their
Right.
whole family.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
people just grow up that way in like hood, like I don't want to say hoods and ghettos because that's not always a bad thing for people because that's where people live and people look down on that. But they come from a place where certain shit shouldn't be a way a kid is living, you know. And we got into a place where we don't have anybody like our elders stepping in and talking to that man like, look, let me talk to y'all. This is not how. You know what I mean? Where you feel comfortable enough to go say that to another man or family, you know what I mean, and do that. People don't do that no more because they don't care or they be out here flashing. Be a fight.
Well, yeah, I don't think we're given, we're just handed over the way to live life. It all comes with learning lessons and
Mm-hmm.
going through certain things and figuring out, what's right, what's wrong, what your
Mm-hmm.
values are, what you believe in. But I think a lot of times, we like I grew up in a dysfunctional home. I think my parents did the best with what they had,
Yeah.
you know. I don't hold them accountable for the decisions they made. Like, they just did the best with what they knew and how they knew to do it. And it is what it is. I am who I am now, but I definitely had to go into myself and unlearn a lot of habits that I had picked up from,
Yeah.
being raised a certain way. Um, and I think, like a lot of religions teach that, being gay is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But in our reality, God loves everyone. He
Yeah. I don't even
it
do
doesn't
religion.
yeah, it
That's
doesn't
man made.
matter. Exactly. And that's another thing. Like that's another reason why, things are happening to these people in these like the transgender community. Like, who are you to judge? It's not your place to judge them.
Exactly.
It's God's place to judge them. So let them live their life. Let
Yeah.
them live. They
These people
deserve
are
to
just
live
people.
just like you
Yeah.
do.
They're
Like,
people just like us. That's why I'm like, who gives them the audacity to tell anybody, like,
yeah.
even up
I
to
mean, it's just
our government, like,
like we all
who are
need to
you?
coexist. We all need to be able to coexist and balance. Like,
Hmm.
it's just as simple as that. We need to support each other. We need to be there for each other. Like, if COVID didn't teach you that,
For
what is
real,
wrong with you?
it's a no hope. That's what I
Like,
said.
what
So
is
many
wrong
lives
with
lost.
you?
Yo, so many deaths. This is crazy. I couldn't believe I was alive. I'm still tripping when I be like, this shit really
Like, if
happening,
COVID didn't teach you to appreciate life and appreciate the people in your life and appreciate the differences in other people
right?
and to just be there for one another in times of need, something's wrong.
Something very wrong because some people didn't, and that's why I'm tripping out. Like, what's going on here? If you came in this shit the same way, you leaving out of it, or however where you are now, you, you wasted a lot of damn time. I'm
Mhm.
like man.
I went back to school twice. I did a lot of research. I learned about chakras. I did a lot of research on different religions. And
I don't
just
even watch
you
TV no
know,
more.
but
I just
yeah,
read.
I'm not even religious anymore.
I
I'm
love to
spiritual.
read.
I'm spiritual. I'm not
No
religious.
TV.
Like I believe in Jesus. Like I'm a
Mm,
follower of Jesus, definitely.
yeah.
But
Mm,
I follow my own values and
yeah.
what because I have my own relationship with God. So like,
Yeah.
and as long as God knows my place and where I stand, I'm good. I don't have to go to church. I
Right.
don't
I
have
stopped going
to
to church. You didn't get me
I don't have
started
to
on
do
that
none of
shit.
that. Like as long as God knows who I am and where I stand, that's all that matters.
I call him Yahweh, and but my that's a whole different story. I don't whoever whatever floats for everybody, as long as we being good to
Right.
each other, loving each other.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we truly find out because we can't really say we truly, you know what I mean. We'll all find out together
Mhm.
when we do. But I don't know.
Oh, I think my camera froze. Let me go switch my battery.
Oh goodness. And for you listeners, thank you for listening. Sorry for my hair. You know, I should have been more planned. I knew this was, we had a little issue in the beginning and all that stuff. But who
Yes,
cares,
my
right?
battery died.
Because we're ladies, just having a lady's life, and you don't have to
Okay.
look how I want to look, right, people? But no, I hope I hope everybody out there is having a good day. I hope you're enjoying the conversation. I hope you got some really good points. Treat people with kindness, have empathy, have some respect. There's nothing wrong with that shit. I mean, it's perfectly normal. It makes a lot of sense. Anyone that would be against that, just make sure we keep our distance. Like I don't even have words because I gotta keep my energy for people that sensible, logical people. Everybody wants respect. Everybody does. So if you want it, you gotta give it.
Mm-hmm.
Some people think they know, but they don't. And that means if you have
Mm-hmm.
friendships, you have to be a friend to a person. You can't control the friendship. You can't give what you want to give and not take. That all comes with it. You know what I mean? You can't expect somebody to be somebody that they're not either. It's called all around respect. We are
Look,
who we are. As
and
long as
I
we're not
had
hurting
that
each other.
problem. Like I had a certain vision of people and how I expected them to be based on what I was perceived of them. And so when they weren't that type of individual, I was disappointed. But who was I hurting? I wasn't hurting anyone but me by having a certain perspective on who they were based on what they perceived. But in all reality, instead of just expecting someone to be a certain way, just flow. Just
Right?
flow.
Get to
You
know
know?
them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
And I had to learn that the hard way. Take your time, you know? don't don't expect people to be perfect. Don't expect yourself to be perfect.
Right.
Just be you and enjoy life because it's your life and you get to live it how you want. And as long as the good Lord keeps waking you up every day, then you got a purpose.
Yep. That is so true. Another day, because not everybody got woken up. So if you got woke up, that he gave you another day to do something different.
Mhm.
Get it right. If you didn't get it right yesterday, that's all right. It's not
Yeah.
where you've been, it's where you're going.
Every day is new.
Yep. Start over again. So if I'm
Mhm.
saying if you're out there, you're hate whatever it may be, you can be a hateful person, whatever you've been, if it's something that you know it's not good, you can change that.
Mhm. You could wake up tomorrow and be a completely different person if you want to
Mm-hmm.
be. And don't let anybody tell you that you can't, because you
Yeah.
can.
Yeah. It's your life,
And
it's your soul.
right, and a lot of people
What
will
you
look at
want.
you like, "Oh, she's." Some people will look at you like, "Oh, she's switched up. She's switched up. She's not the same." No,
Right? Just tune
no,
them out.
you can be whatever you want to be as long as you are happy with who you are.
Yeah. Just gotta tune those people out. Like don't even like somebody say anything. Like don't even do that. Just keep it going. I can tell my son long they didn't touch you. Let them be. Like I ain't gonna respond.
Mhm,
I'm not even gonna give you that energy. You're not even in the room. Okay, you don't
mhm,
exist.
mhm.
All that
Yep.
is that. Eat, eat, eat. But yeah, it's always a pleasure. I think we did this. It's good talking. We usually, we have a what we're gonna talk about. Then it goes like, because I think we're both like really in depth with, like, I mean, shit, good people. I guess that's what you really want to call it. It's
Mhm.
not really that complicated. I guess
Right, right.
it's really what it is. Just want people to be happy. It's okay.
Mhm, mhm.
Give me a
And
hug.
whatever you're going through,
Give me a hug.
don't worry. If you're going through anything and you feel like you need to reach out to someone for some advice or, just to talk to someone, you can reach out to me if you want. Definitely reach out. I think Brandy will put my link
Uh-huh,
on
yes, that's
my
right.
my
Yes,
my
yes.
link tree.
Link tree, yes.
Yeah, she'll put my link tree in there, and you can contact me through any of my platforms. I'm more than willing to be an ear and someone to lean on, someone to give you advice.
Yeah.
I won't I won't tell you any advice that I wouldn't use myself.
Right. Right. Like some folks. But yeah, like I tell people, you're not alone. You don't even have to know somebody. You know what I mean? It's like you're not alone. There's somebody. Just to have the courage to reach out. Trust me, because I'm a big softie, but I ain't no pusher. I ain't no punk. So don't get it twisted. Anybody can get these paws. I'm playing. No, I just love people, and I don't want to see nobody hurt. So,
Right.
but anybody out there that's dealing with bullying and all that stuff, you go to my website and go to Real Wise Radio, realwiseproductions.com. There's some stuff there, and there's some more stuff coming. But you don't have to take it. Don't stop talking about it. Don't accept it. Even parents fight. School's not doing nothing. Go somewhere else, but don't leave your kid there. It's not worth it. Take them out because their safety is. Don't make. Don't let them stay there. Don't make them
Right.
suffer. Take them out. Definitely.
Absolutely.
This world. But yeah, I do appreciate you always coming,
Always.
I know you're a busy person, so
It's fabulous every time we get together.
yes, yes, yes. We gotta do sometime. We gotta make a date or something to do
It's a
something.
vibe.
Right? Right? For real. It just takes off like
Right. I mean, we just bounce off of each other so good.
good people, good people.
Mhm.
But definitely we gotta do something like maybe once a month or something where we do something for like parents or something like, you know, and the kids, like something like that.
Yeah,
Because that's where it starts. Most definitely.
absolutely. Yeah, like I said, I'm ready to get back out here. I feel confident enough. I'm ready.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
So if you're along the journey of, getting to know yourself, please reach out. If you're being bullied, please reach out. you
Yes.
know, Anything. Please, if you have any type of suicidal thoughts,
Oh,
please reach out. We will get you to
yes.
the proper help in your area, get you all the right information. Please do not go through that alone.
Yeah, don't do
No,
it. Because you can't take
don't.
that back. You can't come back from that. Ain't nobody out here worth, you taking your life. No. He
You
gave it to
have
you, it's
purpose.
yours.
Every single person has a voice, and your voice needs to be heard. So please speak up.
Yeah.
Use your outside voice if you have to.
Yes, please use your outside voice. Don't stop using your outside voice. I told somebody, I said, look, if your teacher don't listen to you, you just stand there in class all day long and just make noise. They'll do something because you disrupt the class. Just stand there and just be like, all day long if nobody help you. They'll help you. Trust me. Well, Miss Kara, is there anything that you would like to leave the listeners with where well, I think your link tree, right, where they can get all your links.
Yep, you can get all my links. Also, I am an advocate for healthy living and healthy lifestyle for Arbonne. I'm an independent consultant, so if you are interested in living a more healthier lifestyle and knowing what you're putting in your body,
Hmm.
definitely check out my Arbonne page. Also, I did not put my Drip In for Diversity link on there for my clothing line, but all the proceeds that I from all the clothing that I sell through my Drip In for Diversity, all those go to fund my nonprofit organization that I want to start. So go buy some Drip In for Diversity merch, like so I can start. And my nonprofit is going to be for children who don't get the option to have like a fancy birthday cake or,
Oh,
family, because a lot of kids don't have family that come to their parties. It's usually just them and their mom. So it's for kids to get a better celebration, to celebrate who they actually are, that, don't have the privilege of having that, you know? So I'm going to
definitely.
make them a customized cake, bring them a gift, and me and my kids are going to go to their party. So
I love that. It's so sweet. Okay. Well, yes, yes, definitely. I'll put the link tree up on the notes, and then I'll also put it on my website, and then maybe we can put it on the radio show too, so people can get to it. Yes. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for being a great person in your community
thank
and
you.
doing the work, giving back. If you want to see a difference, you got to actually be in it, and that you start by action. Yeah, boots to the
Yep.
ground.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, everybody, thank you for the people that are in here. I truly appreciate you. Stay tuned because there will be more. And until next time, my name is Brandy J. This was really a lady's life, but it will be on the Voices of Courage because we are ladies living a lady's life. This never goes smoothly because I got to pick up the. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye bye.